Giganotosaurus was one of the largest theropod dinosaurs. It was discovered in 1993. The skeleton was quite well preserved, with almost 70% of it being recovered. The size of this meat-eating giant is still a topic for much debate. The current estimate is that its maximum length is about 13 meters or 43 feet. There are some who say this size to be an exaggeration, claiming that it was of similar size to the Tyrannosaurus rex, while some say it could grow even bigger. The teeth of the Giganotosaurus were flat and serrated. This made it very capable of ripping the flesh of its prey. It might have used this to cripple its targets by attacking leg muscle, or it may have inflicted wounds and let blood loss finish its prey. Is one of the largest and best-preserved Tyrannosaurus skeletons we have ever found. Around 90% of Sue's skeleton has been recovered. Sue was discovered in 1990 by Susan Hendrickson and was ultimately named after her. When studying the fossils, it was discovered that Sue suffered from multiple injuries and diseases during her life. These include broken ribs, infections, and arthritis. What caused her death is still debated but ultimately unknown. Sue was 28 years old when she died. If you want to see Sue for yourself, she is currently at the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago, Illinois. The Spinosaurus is not only the largest dinosaur that we currently know of, but also one of the most controversial. There has been a lot of debate about the lifestyle of this spectacular monster. It likely preferred fish as its main diet. However, a pterosaur bone has been found with a Spinosaurus tooth embedded in it. This would suggest that it may have been more of a generalized eater when it had the chance. It also had a relatively weak bite for its size. This weak bite is compensated for by fast shutting speed. These traits are common in animals with semi-aquatic feeding habits. There are still many debates about its general lifestyle. Some claim it was aquatic while others claim it to be only semi-aquatic. Other theories discuss whether it walked on 2 or 4 legs. Spinosaurus is a great example of how ever-changing our knowledge of dinosaurs truly is. Even though Deinosuchus is much larger than its modern counterparts, it likely looked and behaved very similarly. It grew up to 11 meters or 33 feet in length. The name Deinosuchus means terrible crocodile. It lived in the late Cretaceous period in the region known as the Western Interior Seaway. Given its size, Deinosuchus was probably very capable of killing large dinosaurs. This is supported by the discovery of hadrosaur tailbones with Deinosuchus teeth marks. It likely hunted in the same way as modern crocodiles. A study in 2014 even suggests that it could perform a death roll used by many modern crocodiles. Triceratops is one of the most famous dinosaurs in the world. With its distinctive horns and frilled neck, most people will recognize it in an instant. It was one of the largest ceratopsids, reaching lengths of up to 9 meters or 30 feet. Using its horns, it could protect itself against the large predators it shared a habitat with. Fossil evidence has been uncovered that show that Triceratops had encounters with Tyrannosaurus rex. One fossil even shows how a Tyrannosaurus broke a horn from the Triceratops. Since most Triceratopses were found as individuals, it was believed that they mostly lived by themselves. Later evidence would indicate that Triceratops would likely live in a family unit, or even a larger herd. This behavior would make sense considering they lived in the same environment as Tyrannosaurus rex. Megalodon is the biggest shark that we know of. It lived in oceans all around the world from around 20 million to about 3.5 million years ago. It is estimated that its average length was around 17 meters or 52 feet, with a maximum length of up to 20 meters or 67 feet. The main prey of the Megalodon were likely whales. We know this from the many whale fossils with Megalodon teeth marks. It is estimated it had to consume around 1,100 kilos or 2,500 pounds a day. It lived in a very competitive environment, competing with gigantic sea monsters like the prehistoric sperm whale, Leviathan. Megalodon likely went extinct because of their main prey vanishing. Given its large appetite, it is impossible for megalodons to be alive today without leaving evidence. Mosasaurus was originally thought to be around 17 meters or 56 feet in length. This might have been an overestimation. More recent studies suggest that it would be closer to 13 meters or 43 feet. It likely didn't have a preferred diet and would instead eat any animal it could find. This includes sharks, birds, sea turtles, and even other mosasaurs. It likely had a poor sense of smell, making it unfit to be a scavenger. From bite marks on the fossils of giant sea turtles, we can tell that it was probably very savage when feeding. Despite its size and distribution, it still faced heavy competition from other large predators, like the Tylosaurus. The Mosasaurus likely went extinct from consequences of the meteor that hit Earth at the end of the Cretaceous. The Basilosaurus is a prehistoric ancestor to modern whales. The name means king lizard. It got this name because when it was first discovered, it was mistaken for a marine reptile. When later studies revealed that it was actually a mammal, It was proposed to change the name to Zeuglodon. Because the name Basilosaurus was already official, it became a synonym instead. Basilosaurus was around 20 meters or 59 feet in length. Its diet only included fish and large sharks, and was likely an active predator. It lived in tropical environments and was likely the apex predator of its environment. It was not well adapted for deep dives and likely stayed near the surface. Eurypterids, also known as sea scorpions, are an extinct group of arthropods from the early Ordovician until the Permian-Triassic extinction. Although not actually scorpions, they do share some physical similarities. Eurypterids possessed segmented bodies with claw-like appendages. They come in a variety of sizes from the tiny Alcanopterus to the nearly 3-meter or 9.8 feet long Giganotosaurus. If these size estimates are indeed correct, then the Giganotosaurus is the current record holder for largest arthropod to ever exist. Eurypterids were likely the apex predators of their environment until the armored fish showed up. Velociraptor may not have been the giant killing machine like in the movies, but it was nevertheless a frightening hunter. Fossil evidence has been found of a velociraptor together with a Triceratops. From these remains, it looks like the two were locked in a fierce battle. It seems that the raptor managed to inflict some devastating wounds using its sickle claw. However, this encounter would end bad for both combatants. The Triceratops manages to bite down on the arm of the raptor and trap it under its body. After the fight, the two got buried in a layer of sand. Fossils like this give us a small image of how animals like these lived, interacted, and died. It is direct evidence that dinosaurs like the Velociraptor were active hunters. Thanks for watching, and please consider liking and subscribing.